Hi guys, welcome back to the channel, and if you're new here, a very warm welcome to you too. This is all of the highlights from day one of the Beaulieu Supercar Weekend 2026. Coming up in this video, we've got all of the demonstration runs. I've also got an interview with an up-and-coming racing driver, and at the very end, it is our Supercar Sound Off. Which one is going to be loudest? But for them to win, they've got to get the loudest cheer from everyone here. So which one sounds best? All that's coming up, so let's get into our first demonstration run.
So, ladies and gentlemen, can I please ask you to put your hands together for our first car on the Beaulieu demonstration run? Now then, this was something of a supercar killer when it came out, the Nissan GTR. Many people refer to this as the Skyline. It wasn't the Skyline, it was of course just the Nissan GTR. It was the first one as well to have a V6 in it rather than a straight six, but still with two turbos. As you can see, we've got lots of different colour flags at the moment, and the one that we've got at the moment is red. This means that we have to stop just for a minute while we resolve any issues on track. Of course, safety is of the paramount importance. That is the number one thing here, so we're just keeping a red flag on track at the moment. So I think we've got around 20 or more cars in our first demonstration run. We've got 3 demonstration runs coming up for you, and there are different cars in each and every one. So just waiting now. Well, I'm very pleased to see that the red flag's been put down and the checkered flag has been picked up. So here we go. The Beaulieu Supercar Weekend will begin in just a moment's time with our Nissan GTR. Have your cameras ready because the flag has dropped. Away we go. Lovely stuff. Now that just you can see kicking up there, that's obviously been dropped into next. One of the only times that we get to play here at Beaulieu in the grounds and putting our demo run to good order. Now then, the Nissan was indeed a supercar killer, and now this is a pure supercar, isn't it? The gorgeous Ferrari engine in the middle, where it should be, and that rear-wheel drive. Who's ready to hear the Italian stallion shout? Here we go. Looking down the main straight, Sophie there, waiting for a green light. Of course, safety is absolutely paramount here. We can't afford for anything to go wrong. One of the reasons that we stop the cars in the middle is not only to give you a better view, but also because the cars these days are so fast that by the time they get down to the bottom of our main straight, they'd actually be in triple figures. And there's something of an ancient monument to the bottom of there. We don't really want one of those in the sitting room, so therefore bring them to a stop. So you get to see them all twice. And the flag drops, away we go. So hard on the brakes, coming to a stop in the middle, and all that does, going forward, into the gap now. This man here has driven this all the way from Didcot in Oxfordshire. This is the very last one of this. 98 of these are built, and this one is number 98. And what he loves to do most is turn those front tyres from round into 20 pence pieces. No driver aids, here we go. We like V8s here at Beaulieu, so we're going to keep to that V8 theme with this GT40. So named because it was just 40 inches from the ground. Of course, all of those 3 Le Mans cars now have all been brought together by the same family owner. And this one of the that original livery. Of course, this is a livery that a lot of people are going to recognise. The iconic blue and orange Golf livery. Our V8's ticking over just behind there. If you've seen Ford versus Ferrari, I can tell you now that this is even better in person. Here we go then. and narrow. It's all down to the driver and their talent. Ladies and gents, can I please ask you to put your hands together for the first of our 5 cars? Now what we're going to do is we're going to regroup them at the bottom of our demo run here, turn them round and bring them back up so you get to see each car twice. Coming up for you in our next batch, I think we've got even more power, but interestingly it's not just about power, we've also got some of the cars that take a bit of a different approach. Rather than that sledgehammer approach of just putting more and more power in there, they often go the opposite way. Slightly less power, yes, but also much less weight. And you'll see the effect of that in just a minute. But now back to our track, the flag drops and away we go. Pretty sure this is our only 6th Lovely to hear the whistle of those turbos as well. Forced induction there increasing. Now we move on to our Ferrari. The first of our Ferraris for the weekend. There's many Ferraris coming up for you. The flag there waving in the air. And so slight breeze. And now it flies away and away we go. Hard on the brakes, such efficiency now from the talents. Lovely to see that, just getting all of that power down, absolutely glorious. Now don't forget, ladies and gents, you can be a passenger in one of these cars. Head over to Sporting Bears, go and get your raffle tickets ready for the next 2 demo runs. Now move from Italy to Britain. Good old Rover V8 in front of this. Time to stamp on the loud pedal, turn petrol into noise and smoke. The flag there, waving in front of number 98 of 98, and it drops, away we go. Fantastic. Do you know what? Last year, he broke that on the first run. He drove it all the way home to Oxford, fixed it, drove it back and did the same on Sunday. Of course, Ford built this to take on the original livery from the 60s. Of course, the 3 Le Mans winning GT40s have recently all been brought back together in the same collection. They were at Goodwood last month. Hard on making a little Fronts just lock up ever so slightly. Lovely to see that, and heading into our pit area. There's a little bit of smoke coming out of that now. Interesting to see that. Wonder what's caused that. We'll find out what that is. But ladies and gents, can I please ask you to put your hands together for the first car in our second batch of cars. Here it is. Now, this isn't just any A110. This is an A110 Radical. This one has got a 1.8 litre turbocharged 4-cylinder engine. 350 horsepower, but it's all about the lightweightness of this. Speaking of lightweight, this AC Cobra, this one is a CRS. It's a full carbon road series, one of 37 from the factory. And back in 2000, this was the most carbon you could get on a road car. 5 litre Ford V8, away we go. And sounding absolutely glorious. Of course, the Carl Shelby done that huge V8 in it. Keeping with the lightweight theme then, we have now got our Lotus. Supercharged V6 right in the middle of this, literally a few inches from the driver's back. So, let's see what it can do. hard on the brakes, coming to a stop. Fantastic GT car, this not just track focused. Now I've had something of our lightweight specials. Now we're gonna move it up a little bit here with the first of our Porsches. Now the Porsches here always grip and go. We've had all sorts of weather at Beaulieu Supercar Weekend over the years. We've had glorious sun like this, but we've also had rain, and the Porsches always grip and go. Kept with that tradition of having the engine right on those back wheels. Keeping with the green theme, but only in colour. Moving from Germany. Of course, Lamborghini is now, of course, owned by the Beaulieu Group, and there is some of that German efficiency in there, but of course, still plenty of Italian flair. V10 right in the centre of this car. They make a fantastic hell when these rev up. Have a listen to this. To second gear, absolutely. Using launch control too. Next up then we have a Ford Mustang. This one Mach 1 5 litre times V8 with 493 horsepower up front. Beautiful colour on this, part of the simply Mustang's group. And by the sound of it, our driver's a bit annoyed by our that exhaust would be incredibly helpful for when you're heading home at night. Yes dear, just set off, pop the oven on, I'm on the way. Hear that from 3 counties away, sounds glorious. Right then, let's regroup our cars back together, down at the bottom of our room. We're going to turn them around, we're going to bring them back up our little demonstration hill for you. Have your cameras at the ready. This is all to give you, ladies and gents, the best possible experience that we can. To give you a little sneak peek of what's coming up in our next batch, we have got an Aston Martin, no less. And this one has been breathed on a little bit to make it sound even better. And we've also got in this batch one of the biggest engine cars here. Now keep in mind how our Alpine is handling here. It's like, almost like a wasp, it's so neat and lightweight. Everything is about efficiency with it, and this one was turned up even more, being the radical version. About £100,000 these were. They were very serious cars. As were these. Now back in 2000, this was the most carbon fibre you could get on a road car. Of course, starts something very, very different by Scout Shelby, and that's huge engine. It's more like you're driving an engine with a bit of bodywork, to be honest with that. Our flag drops in, and our Lotus then, its natural home on the track. Oh, good road cars, certainly. Great track cars. Nicely to the end of our run there with that supercharged 6-cylinder engine right in the centre of the car. Keep it to a 6-cylinder engine rather than a V6 or V formation. This is a flat formation, and the engine right at the back of the car, almost behind the back wheels on this, so they get so much traction, the Porsches. Doesn't matter what the weather's doing, wet or dry, they somehow manage to find traction. By far and away, some of the quickest cars that we have in our demonstrations are indeed the Porsches. Not the most powerful, but it's how they make use of that power. Making use of every single one of those ponies. You can see just how efficient they are. Hard on the brakes, at the brake point there. One of Porsche's philosophies is a car should be able to stop twice as fast as it can accelerate, and that is incredibly difficult to do, especially when you've got the kind of power that the GTS has. Moving on then from the efficiency of the Germans to the flair of the Italians with our V10. That glorious howl of that V10. Of course, this was also... that close to the ground, it was a sniffer dog, trying to sniff out some traction there, our Lamborghini. Right, let's have a look down. I do believe it is our Mach 1. Flag drops, away we go. This has got to be one of the major... We are starting, of course, this beautiful Aston Martin. In my opinion, one of the most beautiful cars ever made and one of the most stunning cars we have here this weekend. It is our Aston Martin DBS. I wanted to go out there. Engaging launch control. Such an effortless Grand Tour, especially with that twin turbo V12, 715 horsepower. Next up then we have our Bullet Mustang. Now I remember when these came out a few years ago at the Goodwood Festival of Speed. They still look great now. And there's loads of style throughout all of that car that reference back to the iconic. Keeping with our V8 theme, this is a very different take on that V8. This one you're going to hear, rather than it growl and roar, this one's going to howl for you in our F430. Of course, we've got the roof down as well, so we can hear every single one of those ponies howl. And hear the glorious noise coming through there. Next up then, this is probably the biggest engine we've got here this weekend. It's a V10, 8.3 litres of V10. Let me say that again, 8.3 litres. It's like an engine that they've wrapped some bodywork around and attached a couple of seats. Phenomenal. Now this was sort of the first of the new generation of Aston Martins, the DB9. I remember this car coming out now over 20 years ago, but it still looks absolutely box fresh. It was such a jump forward over the predecessor, the DB7. Back in the early 2000s, this was an absolutely spectacular design. It was truly breathtaking. Still sounding absolutely glorious. What a timeless car. Next up then we have our Mustang. And this is one of the Dream Rides cars. So don't forget, ladies and gents, that if you want to be in the passenger seat of one of these cars, head over to Sporting Bears, the yellow marquees, and go and get your raffle tickets bought. Oh, he's getting ready. The rear wheels are fantastic. Have you got any hearing left there, Sophie? I said, have you got any hearing left there? No. Now, let's see if he's going to do a burnout. One of them did say to me, bought some used tyres with me, just for this. Oh, yes, like you're going to put your hands together. Fantastic. Well, the weather report is not a cloud in the sky, but there's a few clouds on the ground. It's not that much breeze either. This might become a bit of an issue, having a bit of smoke, but doesn't it just look absolutely brilliant? Now, they're going to turn themselves around. I'm sure he's got a bit of tread left on those rear tyres for us to have another play on the way back up. Of course, if you want to see him do that, then please, please, please do. Make as much noise as you can and encourage them as much as you can. The more you encourage them, basically, the more they misbehave. We tell them to behave themselves, but when they're out there, of course, we're going to remove a few inches off the old tyre tread. You can see that huge number 11 that's been left on our track there. We had a Camaro here last year that literally left all of its rear tyres on the ground. That was last year. Let's get back to this year. Here is our Aston Martin. Look at that, hard on the brakes, that huge V12 at the front there. Just in an ever so slight whistle, an effortless Grand Tourer, but still knows how to dance when you poke it at the track. Looking down the track then, I do believe it's our Bullet coming up next. Manual, so shifting through the gears to the nose drop and then jump back into the air as we get the power down. The flag drops, our next car on its way up. You can hear, rather than the growl of the Mustang, this one's more of a howl from that mid-mounted V8. Was actually a bit of an evolution of the predecessor to that car, the 360, which we should also have joining us a little bit later on. Great to see some of Ferrari's history out on the track here with us. By far and away then the biggest engine that we've had so far here this weekend, 8.3. It is well worth going to find this car out on the exhibitor fields and having a look, and if you do manage to catch hold of the drive again, to show you under the bonnet, because all of it is full of engine.
People travel on the small road, I guess.
Our next one then, our Aston Martin, has actually got 2 more cylinders. Lower capacity of 5.9 litres. Such a beautiful design this, and many of us will remember. One of the first times we saw that car was of course on Top Gear when they did one of their first trans-European races where they raced it against a train. And of course, our Mustang, keeping with that V8 theme. Now, if you do a burnout going down, should you do a burnout coming back up? Come on, let's have a burnout from him. Keep cheering him, let's hear you. Come on, cheer him on. See all the action from today. Don't forget you can on YouTube tonight. Just search for our team OURTLM on YouTube. That's my channel. It'll be on later this afternoon. If you're not here tomorrow, you'll also be able to see tomorrow's action as well. Next up then, we're keeping with the V8 theme. And this is a Daytona Coupe, 6.2 litre V8, the NS3 in this. About 480 horsepower, 0 to 60 in 3.6 seconds. It's geared to go over 200 miles an hour. There we are, those side exit exhausts. Our bales there. You're all right there. You've got a little bit in your hair there, so it's... was it warm? A bit warm. Never mind. We move from theatrics to effortless focus. It's just efficiency and focus. It's about getting every last inch out of every single molecule with one of these. Engine over the rear wheels, really, really tight, compact. Notes from the exhaust too. Making light work on our track. Next up then, we have our Lamborghini Huracan. This one, a performatic Spider. 5.2 litre V10, right in the middle of it, and no roof, so you can hear every single one of those cylinders. 640 horsepower in this. And our drivers are doing incredibly well, not using launch control whatsoever. This one, professional racing driver. And speaking of, we're going to be speaking and interviewing an upcoming racing driver later on this afternoon in the main arena, so make sure you join me for that. And our STO. You don't hear this car, you feel it. The full exhaust fitted from factory on this one, and it's been... Next then, we have the first of our McLarens. Haven't had a McLaren here with us yet, so the first of our McLarens. Engine in the middle, the traditional... Still looking sharp as well, the 12C. Hard on the brakes, I was using just a little bit. Interesting take on the supercar there, McLaren. Not quite so theatrical as the Ferrari, one might say. Not quite as focused maybe as the Porsches. But still fantastic in its own right. And now we have our 360 Spider. And this one being driven by one of the key members of Sporting Bears. First all the way down to say they're coming to a stop. A little bit of a rev, and away we go with the 360. Engine right in the middle of the car where it should be for our supercars there. So, we've got them all down at the bottom. Now we need to bring them all back up again. So, we're going to regroup them, turn them around and bring them back up. Now don't forget, ladies and gents, that we've got a lot more fun coming up for you here at the Beaulieu Supercar Weekend. For the first time ever, we've got live music. You can see the live music stage over in the exhibit field, so make sure you head over there during your day today. You can also have a look around the hundreds of supercars here with us there in the exhibit field, but there's also more for you to see on the lawns outside Palace House. So make sure you walk down towards Palace House and have a look around there. And if you can find it, there's a secret garden down there too with hypercar royalty. Well worth walking down there to go and have a good look around. A Daytona coupe then bringing braking traction and downshifting lovely on that. Remember, this is all drive right. The passenger in there is beside himself. He was absolutely having the best day ever, and quite right so. Now, onto our Porsche. It's worth respecting just how efficient these are. Whether you're out for that early Sunday morning drive, or whether you're ringing out fully on the track, these always put a smile on your face. They are so incredibly efficient, so great to drive. There's no mistake. mistake in that hole as well. Those 10 cylinders in V formation, again in the middle of the car. And our driver there, one of our professional racing drivers here this weekend, making full use of that demonstrator there, all the way up to the top. Next up then, keeping with the Hurricane, this one, the STO. Hear that lovely hell. This has had the optional exhaust fitted. Absolutely phenomenal on that launch control, don't they? Absolutely fantastic. Next up then we have our McCallum. Now although this engine is slightly smaller, being a V8 rather than a V10, this one's got the aid of 2 turbos. Thank you very much to our drivers there, because they've done very well to clear the track of all of the dust. Quite dusty when we started off with this, but they've done well to clear all the dust off. Looking down there, I do believe we have our Ferrari. Our 360 then, Spider, you can hear that lovely hell from the V8. Absolutely glorious, fantastic to see that. I do believe we've counted them all out and we've counted them all back. So ladies and gents, can I please ask you to put your hands together for all our driver owners in a first demonstration round. This one, the C7 Stingray. This one's got a 6.2 litre V8 pushing out around 500 horsepower. 4 exhausts at the back of it, 8 cylinders at the front of it, and 1 very loud pedal in the middle of it. So, let's see what our Corvette can do. For the second of our demonstration runs then, it begins as soon as our flag drops. Sophie's ready, you're ready, I'm ready, is our driver ready? Well, any moment now, we're about to find out. Looking down the track, you can see red flags are being handed, but they're not out, which is good news. It means that we should be pretty much ready to go. Sophie looks down our main straight, so does our driver. It's time to turn some fossil fuel into some real noise. 1 big loud pedal to stamp on in the middle, the flag drops, and away we go. Through the gears. Now, coming for you next is also one of the quickest. This has got a 5 litre V8 out of a Mercedes, around 400 horsepower, but it's geared to go more than 200 miles an hour. And if you're so inclined, you can spec one of these with a 1200 horsepower engine and go more That's so lightweight, and that noise is just absolutely... We're keeping to our V8 theme then, with the second of our Corvettes in our run here. Huge engine at the front, over 6 litres of V8 power at the front, all being sent to those rear wheels. Sonorous noise heading down there. The last time I heard something that excellent. We're also going to put the engine into the middle here. the Lotus then. 6-cylinder in the middle. Focus and track the mirror here. Focus a little bit more towards the road, but still very gorgeous on either. These are starting to come of age a little bit, the Gallardo. However, they still look incredibly sharp, given the design now is coming on for the best part of 20 or more years. It's lovely to see the Gallardo joining us. Of course, we've had Hurricane's successor on straight, and that hell from that V10 is absolutely glorious. Now, what we do with each of our batches, we take them to the bottom of our main straight, collect them all together, turn them round, and then point them back up the hill. Some people ask us, why do you stop them in the middle of the straight? Well, there's a couple of reasons. First off, most of the cars here have got so much power and are so quick these days that if we didn't stop them, they'd be into triple figures by the time they get to the bottom of that main straight. So at the bottom, there's a bit of a tight corner as it arches around one of our ancient monuments here at Beaulieu. And the last thing we want is to introduce one of these to our front living room. So that's why we do stop them in the centre. The other reason is, well, it gives us a little bit more fun, doesn't it? Especially when they do a burnout. Hard on the brakes there. Great for getting the car up and going, great for holding the momentum and carrying it forward. But of course, when you're hard on the brakes, you've got all momentum to lose. Sounding absolutely glorious, even as it burbles past us. Now, we move on to the Ultima. And it really is ultimate, this. Like I said earlier, you could spec this with a 1200 horsepower V8. Very small, very light car, which means it does 0 to 60 in just 3.6 seconds. On to the second of our Corvettes then. And an unusual colour to see. And a smoke from the back as well. Hopefully it was braking traction there. You see we've got some number 11s from demo run number 1 this morning, where our Mustang decided it would leave most of its tyres on our track. The mirror then, much less about theatre, much more about efficiency, getting the performance. V6 supercharged right in the middle of the car for that glorious weight distribution. Keeping the engine in the centre then, and moving up to 10 cylinders. That V10 you're about to hear, that hell. So the Gallardo, it's been around quite a long time now, the Gallardo. To V10 sounding as healthy as ever. Ladies and gents, can I please ask you to put your hands together for the first batch of cars. And keep that applause going because these will be welcome to match number 5. So we have Audi R8, of course the original R8 had a V8 in the middle bit. This has got a V10. It's itching, ready to go. You can see it's trying to go. The engine controller just made a little wheel spin before getting all of the traction down. Shares obviously. Now, if the R8 is something of a wolf in sheep's clothing, the Lamborghini is a wolf in wolf's clothing. Of course, share a lot of commonality between these cars, and you're going to hear that same sound from a very different looking car. Similar sort of package, but very different design. Of course, Germany and Italy coming together there. Now then, we move back to Old England with our Trevor, our TVR. This one has got a 5-litre Rover V8, only about 320 horsepower, but still 0 to 60 in 4.1 seconds, and on to about 167 miles an hour. Wagging its tail all the way down our straight and come to a stop. That's one happy car and one happy driver. Next up then, we have our Jaguar F-Type. I remember when this car came out originally, I was one of the very lucky people to drive one of the very first ones. I remember it being so stunning. That was only a V6, this is a full-on supercharged V8. Singing the chorus of Royal Britannia. Keeping the British flag flying then, our McLaren 600 LT V8 again, it was the in the centre of the car. You can hear this one helped with 2 turbochargers. Of course, McCallum brought out the twin-turbo V8, same time that Ferrari was still doing naturally aspirated V8 with 458, and then of course I went to turbocharged V8s. Now this really is a race car. This is a car, and I does use this in anger. And he's asked me, shall I just launch it or do a burnout? I said it's completely up to you. So what he's about to do, I have no idea. So it's got a 1.6 litres. Practicing the burnouts, but it also to let go. They get so incredibly sticky. Now that caterer that you saw go down there has probably got one of the smallest engines here. A 1.6 litre inline 4, naturally aspirated as well. There's no turbocharge there to help boost some of that power. Power-wise, only around 200 brake horsepower, but as you saw there, incredibly quick. 2.5 seconds to 60. It's geared to go about 130 miles an hour, but it is very much designed for the track. Weighing just 500 kilograms, it's got 400 brake horsepower per tonne. And when he uses it for hill climbs, he turns the red line up, the limiter, up to 9,500 RPM. But now, back to our engine. What's Gen 2? It was quite a step forward over the Gen 1. Second generation, that you see here, it was all V10 and a big smile from our passenger, and quite right so. Keeping with that V10 theme then, engine right in the middle. A lot of commonality between these two cars, the Audi R8 and the Lamborghini. Just hear that absolutely wonderful howl. The sound of that car that just puts that chill down the spine of your neck. Absolutely glorious. I'm sure it's even better from the driver's seat or passenger seat. And don't forget, you could be in the passenger seat of some of our cars here today by buying your raffle tickets over at the Sporting Bears stand. And our TVR here, remember the things there are? No there. That was a proper 45 degrees there coming out, getting the back end of the car wagging. Now then, onto our Jaguar. Five-litre supercharged V8 up front. You can hear that lovely bark from the back end. You can hear all of this gushing noise coming from the front as it turns fuel and air into raw power. Next then, our McCallum, keeping with the V8, but now into the middle of the car. We downsized it from 5 litres to 3.8 and added 2 turbos. See how hard on the brakes, so low, so efficient. It's a very different answer to the same question as asked of the Ferrari. Of course, those two still competitors to this very day. Now then, keeping to the track, we have our catering. Just look how quick this car accelerates. 2.5 seconds to 6 seconds. And there you go, you can see just how much traction those rear tyres have got. The front tyres completely locked up, pushing the car all the way up our demonstration straight. Ladies and gents, please put your hands together for our cars and welcome to the next batch of drivers. It's nice to see quite a few Lotus models joining us this year. Of course, we've had Lotus vehicles here previously, quite as many, so it's lovely to see the Brits flying the flag. From that supercharged V6. Keeping the engine in the middle of the car, but this time, rather than V6, we've gone up to 8 cylinders with our V8. Making full use of the 650 horsepower from that twin turbo V8. 60 under 3 seconds. Now then, something you'd expect to see quite regal, the Aston Martin, but showing the open road, or in our case, a nice long straight in front of it, and she'll show you exactly what you can do. That V12 burning away, the roof down. It's time to make the perfect summer's day just that bit more perfect. Flag waving gently in the wind. Our Aston Martin and its driver wait for it to fly, for it to drop. And this vanquishes the Latte. And there you can hear 588 horsepower barking from the rear exhausts of that wonderful. Half the cylinders of that Aston Martin, this Porsche, with just a flat 6. But it's also got a turbo. And the 911 Turbo S is, even today, still one of the fastest cars you can buy and use on the road. You can hear just how efficient it is going through that gear, all the way into second, flat 6 with 2 turbochargers. Now this is something rather special. This was built to celebrate 10 years of the ODR8 V10, limited to just 222 models, and this is just one of 10 in the UK. litre V10, sounding healthy as always, 610 horsepower. And now we move from Audi to Ferrari. It is indeed our California team. Twin turbo, V8 up front. Of course, it wasn't the first time that Ferrari supercharged one of their V8s. The old F40 had that similar layout. Of course, that's the iconic supercar now. That is the stuff of legend with the engine in the back. Over 550 horsepower then in the California, which is very much at home on the track as it is on the open road. I'm sure you're looking forward to seeing even more cars, and we've got more supercars coming to join us shortly. But before we let our next batch down our main straight, first we need to regroup our last batch and bring them back up. Now, some of our drivers use launch control on the way down. Will they use it on the way back up? We're about to find out. And then coming to the crossroads, a nice gentle song. That supercharged V6 right in the centre of the car. Of course, the old Lotus mantra of simplify and add lightness. And you could say that McCallum builds on that with that V8 centre of the car, of course with added benefits of 2 turbos. Such a sharp looking design, the McLarens. Sharp, but not too theatrical. Still there with purpose. Speaking of purpose, looking down, I do believe our Aston Martin book. Something rather special about a V12. I've been lucky enough to drive a few V12s in my time, and all of them have just got this effortless power delivery, just effortless torque all the way through the rev range, and they are happy to rev. I make superb Grand Tourers. Just look at the pace of the 911 Turbo S. They are so quick. They just find grip where there just isn't grip to be found. Just like a good police sniffer dog, the Porsche with its nose to the ground, sniffing out the grip. That classic design that they absolutely stuck with and still stick with to this very day. Now, just one of 10 of these in the UK, and with 222 of this edition were built to celebrate 10 years of the Audi R8 V10, and it sounds just as good as the day it came out. And finally then, we move from Audi to Ferrari for our California team, twin turbo V8 up front. Hard on the brakes, great to see our drive there, really putting the car through. You can hear those turbos whistling and coming off boost. Wonderful sound here there. Unusual to hear from the Ferrari. Used to hearing that V8L. So ladies and gents, please put your hands together for our last batch. And now let's welcome our next batch of cars. Now then, our Ford Mustang. V8 up front, 5 litres. And Sophie there saying, "You will come to me, sir. I am not coming to you. You will come to me." Don't let the power go to your head, Sophie, because it's all going to those rear wheels. together. So you guys down there, would you like to burn out too? All right, then you know what to do. Cheer him on if you'd like to burn out. Go on, Mustang, I'm sure there's some tyre left. Let's see you do a burnout. He's there. Engage in line lock. I can't now ask him, are you sure you want to do another one? Yes, yes I do. Come on, Ford. Ladies and gents, put your hands together for our driver there. Now, I'm going to come over to our driver here. I've got two things. Firstly, there's been a bit of weather down there. It's now got a bit cloudy. Also, I fully approve of the Ferrari dice. A penalty I had to take for being chief sporting there. Good, excellent. That's what I like to see. So, one of our Sporting Bears cars ready to take on the straight. Now the clouds have disappeared. The flag drops. Away we go. Here, most of them, there's a few versions of it that are just really on, most of them, of course, keeping to the lineage of the supercar, you cannot have the supercar story without Ferrari. Of course, the F430 was that evolution of the 360. We saw both of these cars earlier, but this is the first time we've seen a 430 on our demo run this year. So you can hear the glorious noise of that V8 and also allow it to breathe fully. Now, probably one of the largest show with us this weekend. That's right, 8.3 litres, V10 up front. Effectively, it's an engine with a bit of bodywork and two teats attached to it. So our passenger there thinks she might be realising exactly what she's got herself in for here now. Exhaust poking out the side, away we go. Is they will just keep pulling and pulling and pulling and pulling with that huge V10. Next up then, this is a 996, even though it does look like a 997. It's not the quickest, but it is still loads of fun. That driver there put it well through its paces. Look at that, full marks to the effort there. Now the R35, this was the first in that GTR heritage line. Of course we had Skylines before this. This was the first that didn't have Skyline in the name. It was just Nissan GTR. It was also the first that went from a straight six to a V6. Still incredibly potent. Nissan just kept working and working and working on this car, refining it year after year after year, just making it quicker and quicker and quicker. That's locking up. I was not expecting to see that from our R35. That sounded absolutely glorious. You can find plenty of videos of those on YouTube. They are a tuner's favourite and they really, really do wrap them up. I've seen those hit 0 to 60 in sub 2 seconds, and that's internal combustion. We're not talking electric here. This is good old internal combustion doing the absolute best that it can. And that's what it's all about, isn't it? Being not only able to produce the power, but also to put that power down onto the road and get that traction. R35 GTRs then always a favourite for our tuners. We saw plenty of those at Simply Japanese that we had here at Beaulieu a few weeks ago. If you missed that, you want to see it, you can watch that on YouTube. Just search for our Tim, Simply Japanese, you'll be able to see it. Now then, back to the Mustang, and yep, it's about to get cloudy. My, oh my, that is a shot, isn't it then? Right, so he's done 3 burnouts. Can he make it? 4. Come on, you guys, put your hands together, cheer him on, let's see you. Come on, we're going around another burnout, come on. Absolutely superb. I was talking to him this morning. He said, hey, good news. I went down to the tyre shop yesterday. I was like, oh yeah, fits new tyres. He goes, no, old ones, so that they can be destroyed. Excellent. Right, on to our Lamborghini. V10, but that sound, it gives me goosebumps. It's such a lovely shriek coming from the engine of that. What a glorious noise. Speaking of glorious noises, have a listen to the 430. Car that succeeded this 458 was that sort of... about 360's predecessor. Now, we've had V8s, and we have had a V10, but this V10 is big. 8.3 litres big. You can hear just how tall the gearing is in that car, because it's got so much torque coming from that huge engine. Now then, our Porsche, this one's only got a baby 3.4 litre flat 6 in it, but as you saw earlier, our driver likes to use every little bit of it. He likes this car, he likes to bring it out, he likes that sounds great, looks great, superb. He's asking if he can have another go. Sorry, sir. No, we've got an R35 coming up to join us. So this was the supercar killer, the Nissan GT-R. Even now, all those years after it was first launched, it's still... Those turbos just sound absolutely fantastic. Here, boost all the way up, and then jump in the overboot. Absolutely glorious. And I'm looking down at the bottom. We've counted them out. We've counted them all back. Ladies and gentlemen, can I please ask you to put your hands together for all of our owners and drivers.
We've got a fantastic looking car here with us, but we've got an even more brilliant driver. Hello, Oscar, how are you?
Hello, I am very good, thank you. How are you, Tim?
I'm very good. Now, 2 years ago, was it 2 years? Might have been 3 years ago. Me and you were talking, and we had a kart, and it was up here on a stand, and we were talking about that and talking about the aspirations, about going racing and so forth. And now you've got taller, and the car's got bigger. So, what's been going on in the last couple of years?
Oh yeah, I mean, it feels like yesterday. We progressed so quickly. Different series of karts, and now I'm in cars, and
yeah,
more than we could have imagined 2 years ago, really.
So how did you make the jump? Because it is a bit of a jump to go from karting to Ginetta. What happened?
Well, I mean, obviously it is a huge jump. You got a huge car around you, but Ginetta make the pathway really accessible. With their junior championships, they've also got a junior scholarship, which provides just the perfect way in without committing too much, and it gave us the confidence to chase the dream, really.
Excellent, that's good. Now, is it the first year in the car, or is this second season? Are we still rookie season, as it were, or are we in our second season yet?
Oh, we're very much in our rookie season.
Okay.
We've had limited testing this year. We've not been in the car too much, but yeah, we're giving it a good go, and it's going all well.
Excellent. And so before we move on from karting, how many years did you do karting?
Well, I started when I was 8 and we left at 14, so 6.
6 years of karting, and now we're playing with the big boys now with the Ginettas. Quite a step up. Of course, you know, you've been lucky enough to drive a few other cars on private land and so forth, so you've got your eye in and your experience there. But where was your first race? What track was your first race?
I raced at Donington Park. That was quite the experience because, well, your first few corners of the trainer curves, you're going downhill, literally pushing other cars at over 100 miles an hour. Coming from karts to that is quite insane.
So let's go back there to Donington Park. I'm assuming you had a few sort of like sighting laps and practice and qualifying. Is it that usual format and series?
Yes, you get a couple of days of testing before the event, then you get a 3-lap qualifying, so you've got to be on it pretty quickly. And then straight into races, 1 formation lap, and you're racing again.
So it's like a flying start?
No, standing start.
A standing start, okay.
Yeah. So
you've got your formation lap, then it's onto the grid, and then you're watching the lights. They go green, and that's it. And how long's the race? Is it laps or is it time?
It's a 20-minute race when the timer hits 0 plus 1 lap.
Okay, so you've got 20 minutes. And how many cars are on the grid?
Around 26 to 30.
So that's a busy grid. That's a lot of cars. So we're on the start line now. I want everyone to get into your mind here and just how exciting this would have been. Whereabouts on the grid were we? Were we towards the back, the middle, towards the front? And it's fine to be wherever you are on that grid because, you know, you're new to the season.
You know, limited testing. We were at the back, but it was where expected, considering the circumstances, and we're building towards the front in a structured platform.
Exactly. So being at the back of the grid is not a bad thing because the only way there is up and forward. So you're towards the back of the grid. You can see all of these Ginettas now in front of you. I'm sure there's many experienced drivers on the track ahead of you. How did that feel?
Well, going back to the scholarship, I was in the top 11, and I don't think anyone in front of me had actually not won a national or international title.
Wow.
So when you're on that level of field, it's insane. But everything kind of quiets down when you're on the grid. You just zone in.
Yeah, that's what you're focused on. You're there for one purpose, and that's to get in front of that car in front of you until there's no cars in front of you, apart from if you're trying to lap someone, that is. So we're on the grid, lights have gone green. What happened next?
It was a very surreal experience, you know, a race there, something I've dreamt of my whole life.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden I'm on a car track where the year's gone. But you just you are zoned in, just enjoying the experience as well as trying to do your best.
And it's quite intense, isn't it? You know, it's not like driving normally. You know, like when we drive a normal car, a road car, they're so comfortable and effortless now. You know, we've got self-driving cars and all this automated stuff. You've got the AC set just so, or, you know, the vented seat on. It's all nice and calm and quiet. This is a physical experience, isn't it?
Oh yeah, so the Ginetta Junior is as raw as they get. No traction control, no ABS. It literally is as raw as you get. The cockpit reaches almost 60 degrees, so it is hot in there.
Yeah. So if you imagine sort of how hot it is today, we're in mid-20s, double that, and you sat in there, and you're having to perform, you're having to concentrate constantly, not only about what everyone else is doing around you, but what the car's doing as well, feeling all of those little changes and bumps, and if it's losing traction here, and when you can really get on it.
Yeah, I mean, it demands a lot of you, but obviously you train a lot to make sure you're prepared.
So we're now into August, 1st of August today. How many races have we done so far?
Busy month. So in April we did 2 rounds, which added up to 6 races. So we got quite a bit of experience under our belt there.
Wow, okay. And how are we doing in the championship? I'm assuming we score points every race and so forth?
Well, I'm not doing the whole championship this year, so that's not kind of our aim.
Yeah, so all your aim here is to get your eye in and work your way up, and then is it full-blown championship next year?
Yeah, it should be, as long as we get sponsorship and the budget with partners, then we're going to go for a full championship campaign, and you never know what could come from that.
Well, I've got my fingers crossed, and if you're watching this on YouTube and you want to help a brilliant young talent, please do. Look, we've got a white car here that's crying out for sponsorships all down the side of it. Talking of the car, let's talk about the car, shall we? So what have we got? We've got a Ginetta.
Yeah, so this is the Ginetta GTA. It's the next step from my race car. I race the Ginetta G40 Junior. 270 brake horsepower. It's a 3.5 litre V6.
Okay, and do you know how much it weighs?
1,230 kilograms.
That's not much at all. That's quite a lot of power from a lovely V6, and the V6s are so smooth, aren't they?
Yeah, it is very light. It is a spaceship on the racetrack.
I bet it is, and then plenty of downforce. I mean, we can see the wing behind us here, and there's downforce at the front as well. There's lots of aero going on, so plenty of traction as well.
Yeah, there's a lot to it. It's a good race car. It's designed for people moving up from juniors, whether you're going into a full-blown season or you want a track day car. It is perfect for literally every occasion.
So we're getting our eye in this year, and next year we'll be moving up to something along these lines, right?
So next year I'm going to do another year in the junior championship. Hopefully this time next year you'll be stood next to a championship leader.
Yeah.
The year after that, so 2028, this is when we're going to start looking into things like that. And I mean, why wouldn't you?
Absolutely, absolutely. So a kart, obviously, it's a relatively small vehicle. You're at one with the vehicle. There's not much around you. This is much, much, much bigger. What's been the biggest difference for you?
I think the biggest difference isn't as obvious as you think, but it is the weight transfer. In a kart, you are the weight of the car.
Yeah.
In this, well, you got 4 big wheels that you've got to manoeuvre, so it's a lot different to the car.
Yeah, and that's the thing, isn't it, with the weight? Like, you've got to play with the weight and put it into the right place and almost prepare the car for the corner.
Yeah, I mean, the Ginetta Junior Championship, the cars are renowned for trying to kill the drivers, but that's what makes it such a good championship, because it prepares you for literally everything. And they say that if you can drive a G40 Junior quickly, you can jump in anything.
Well, that's quite a statement. Dad has started sweating there because he's like, hang on a second, he'll be driving around in my cars sooner or later. Should we have a look inside and you can talk me through some bits and pieces? I'm assuming, are we all... So, looking through there, we can see our cockpit, and there's not much in there, is there really?
No, it's very bare. I mean, compared to my race car, it's a lot more detailed. You've got aircon, which I would give almost anything for. There's a lot of buttons in there, but it's fully equipped for a driver to do anything they want with.
And can you adjust many? Because I know, like a lot of race cars these days, you can start adjusting little things here and there. Is there much adjustment on track, or is it pretty much set from the pits?
I mean, you can adjust basic stuff like brake bias and stuff, but that is why you're with a team. You've got a group of people around you that are going to make the car as good as it can be, handled to how you like it. And that is why it's important to have an incredible team of people around you.
Yeah. And what's it like sat in there? I mean, obviously not sat in this one, but when you're sat in there, is it sort of like, I'm at home, I'm in my office, or a bit different?
It's indescribable, really. I mean, everything just kind of goes quiet, Tim, and you're in the zone, you're in your happy place. You work so hard to make this happen. It's the moments leaving the track, you realise what you've done. And the value of it.
Does the time on track go by quite quickly? Because when we're having fun, time flies. Yeah, so I can imagine imagine some races go by like that, and then there's some races that might be a bit longer.
Oh, it's that times 1,000. It really does pass quickly, and then I find that if you're not in such a good position, it goes very quickly. If you're in a good position, you're waiting for it to end, because you want to obviously finish as best you can, but
Yeah, I mean, you've got quite a lot going on. There's 30 odd cars on the track. You're looking through the windscreen and you're chasing the guy in front of you, just pinned onto his rear, trying to get in front of him. But equally, there's a couple of guys behind you at any one point also trying to do the exact same thing to you, nudging you and looking in the wing mirrors and potentially coming up by the side of you. There's a lot going on, isn't there?
Oh yeah, it's a high pressure environment. Obviously, you always have to perform. There's no real room for error, and it is quite, especially moving from karts when you've got a mirror full of other cars. It's quite daunting, especially to start off with.
I was going to say, if you're looking in that mirror, you're looking where you've been almost. You're not looking what's going on in front of you, and of course everything is happening so quickly.
Well, I said it when I got into cars. It's quite a privilege to have mirrors, because in the kart you're a bit left by yourself. But also when you've got things fast approaching you, so sometimes when you're doing an open track day, when you've got GT3s passing you in a 100 horsepower car, it's 1 minute they're not there, and the next minute they are filling up your rear mirrors.
Yeah, they're like little gnats, aren't they? All of a sudden just there. It's like, where have you come from?
Exactly that.
That's fantastic. So, we've talked about where you've been, karting, talking about where you're going,
Yeah.
and I have every intention that you will get there. What's the dream? Where do we want to end up?
The goal would be to make a career in motorsport, Tim, but obviously everyone's dream is F1 or Le Mans. For me, it's Le Mans. I think there's a lot more opportunities there. And also to be able to share a car with people, you bond with your team over time. So to be able to share that experience with some incredible people, that is a dream. And ultimately, I'd love to take my partners Brookspeed back to Le Mans.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Brookspeed are an incredible partner. They are. I've got nothing but admiration for Brookspeed and all the time in the world. And they've supported Supercar Weekend for countless years. I've seen them at so many events at Beaulieu. They're just fantastic, Brookspeed. You want to get to Le Mans? Fingers crossed. Really do. I'd love to see you out at Le Mans. I'll be watching the full 24 hours. In fact, I'd expect a phone call from you saying, we're going to Le Mans. What seat do you want? Because I'll be there, front row, watching you the whole time. If you do get to Le Mans, what would be your dream drive? If you could drive anything in Le Mans? I mean, it could be something old, something new. There must be something out there you go, that'd be the one.
I think prototypes never fail to impress me, the hypercars. They're insane, so to drive one of them around Le Mans, that would be absolutely iconic, and it'd be a part of history.
Yeah. That would be sort of like on the wall picture, that was me, I did that kind of thing. But you should have had plenty of those moments now. I'm sure there's loads of pictures of you karting and now in Ginettas, so I'm sure that wall will be plastered with you through motorsport. Now, there's plenty of people out there that think they're a bit of a talent behind the wheel. What would you say to people who think they're a bit of a driver? Because I've been in plenty of cars over the years with plenty of different people, and there's plenty of people who think they can drive, and I'll be honest, the talent runs out far quicker than the grip does. But then there's also been times where I've been very impressed with the driver. So for you, what do you think makes a good driver?
I think first of all, believing in yourself. If you're doing that, you're beating a lot of people already. And you've got to dedicate your life to it. It does take up a lot of time. But I think the thing that makes champions is the willingness to just do better and actually enjoying the sport for what it is.
Yeah, excellent. Now, we're here at the Beaulieu Supercar Weekend. There's lots and lots of supercars. There's a few hypercars here as well. Have you had a chance to have a look around yet?
I haven't looked around yet. Even if I do, I think I will be biased to the Ginetta being my favourite.
Of course.
You can't argue that. I mean, look at it.
I know, it's fantastic, and I dare say that this would be probably one of the quickest cars here. Not the most powerful, but it's not always about the power, it's about that weight as well. If you've got a big heavy car to move, you've got a lot of luggage and weight to move with you before it's moving, and then you've also got a lot to shrug off as well. As I'm sure we've spoken about on during this interview, moved from karting when it's pretty much just you to this, which is a much bigger thing. So I'd no doubt say that this would be one of the. I'd love for them to let you take it down the straight. That'd be amazing, but unfortunately we can't do that. What car, apart from this, then, would you want to take on that straight?
Oh, there's a selection to choose from. If they let me drive anything,
anything,
I would like to take the GT4, but again, that's a race car. So if I had to drive a road car, it would be the F40 because it's a race car for the road. It's absolutely iconic.
Yeah, good answer. Very, very good answer. Well, I think I speak for every single person here in wishing you the very best in your motorsport career. It's been wonderful to catch up with you again. I know it's been a couple of years since we've spoken, and it's brilliant to see you progressing. Yeah, because not only are you growing up like that, but you're maturing and you're learning and you're growing, and it's just fantastic to see that. Because I know when we spoke last time, we were talking about karting. It's like, the dream is this, the dream is this, and you're taking yet another step forward. You might not be fully just there yet, but every step forward is a step closer to that dream.
Yeah, I mean, the dream is slowly getting realised, and it's just somewhere you'd never imagine to be 5 years ago. Driving race cars around the track at 15 years old, I couldn't really ask for much more.
Yeah, well, don't forget us all, when you're there, in the clouds, like absolutely flying and, taking the world by storm with your impressive talent. Don't forget all of us, because we'll be right behind you. And I've no doubt I speak for every single person here and wishing you the absolute best of luck in your career. Ladies and gentlemen, now please ask all of you around the arena to put your hands together for Oscar. Well done, buddy. Well done. Later on today, after the show closes, me and you are going to go and record a podcast, aren't we?
We are going to record a podcast. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah.
A little bit of a relaxed environment again, which will be quite nice. And take a look at some of the awesome cars as well.
I know, we get to have a look around because we're working now, so we don't get a chance to do it. But we're going to go and record a podcast, me and you. You're going to tell me more about this, and we'll have a wander around and choose our favourite cars. And you'll be able to... We'll put links to that podcast on my socials, certainly, which is at Our Tim. And your socials, what are your socials?
Mine is OSK_52 Racing on Instagram. Everything else is just OSK52 Racing.
There we go, OSK52 Racing. So go and follow Oscar, go and show your support, and look out for that podcast. I can't wait to record that, it's going to be a right laugh.
I'm looking forward to it, and I mean, what a venue to do it, especially at Supercar Weekend. They could even call it Hypercar Weekend.
I know, right? It's getting there, isn't it? It's getting there. Wonderful to see you again, Oscar. Thank you very, very much. Pleasure to see you. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, put your hands together for Oscar.
Thank you, Tim.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our third and final demonstration run of the day. Can I please ask you to put your hands together to welcome the first of our cars? Put your hands together for the Aston Martin DB6. This course is a successor to the iconic DB5 with a glorious 4-litre inline 6, 282 horsepower. Aston Martin again away, but not quite as well as I was expecting. You could get this from 0 to 60 in 6.2 seconds onto a top speed of 150 miles an hour, and improved aerodynamics and specification over the predecessor, of course the iconic DB5. It's made iconic by the one and only James Bond. Next up then, we have our Corvette. Puts out a colossal 201 horsepower onto a top speed of 127, and we'll do 0 to 60 eventually. Our next one though, this has no problems getting to 60. 4-litre flat 6 with 490 horsepower, 3.8 seconds, 60 will go to 187 miles an hour. Built in memory of his late father-in-law. Next up then we have our Ferrari, and I can hear the engine there holding its revs, ready to engage launch control, and we will be away. 3.9 litre V8 20 horsepower in the Portofino M. Now this is a car I've been looking forward to seeing all weekend. This isn't any jump program. This is the 212 SC. Only 2 of these were built, and this is the only one in the UK. A 3.5 litre V8 with 2 turbos, a Lotus engine no less, developing 350 horsepower, 0 to 60 in 4 seconds. Racing a very little in driver aids in that. Next up we move to as described by Top Gear as the one with the tent on the top of it, but there is nothing slow about this at all. 3.8 litre flat 6, 375 horsepower. Spectacular styling to go with it too. of our main straight. What we're going to do now is regroup our cars up, turn them round, and we're going to bring them back up our demonstration run here. Now, we started with the glorious DB6, one of the oldest cars that we have on display here with us, indeed one of the oldest cars we have in our demonstration run. 4 litre inline 6 with 282 horsepower, which doesn't sound like much by today's standards, but back in the day that was quite something. When your family hatchback would have had 40, 50, maybe 60 horsepower, not 150. So to have something with 282 horsepower and a 0 to 60 time of 6.2 seconds and a top speed of 150 was very impressive indeed. She needs to be pulling away clean. She's blown the cobwebs out. It's lovely to see the DB6 in motion there. Glorious to see it. Of course, this was the successor to that iconic DB5, but actually had improved aerodynamics over that car. Next up then is our Corvette. Now remember, this car is coming on for about 50 years old. So if you can move as quick as this when you're 50, I'd be impressed. The 25th anniversary edition. Of course, remember this was also designed and built when the Americans were clamping down on emissions. So that 5.7 litre V8 sounds huge. The power output, not so much. 201 horsepower. Not so much for our Porsche Spider then. 375 horsepower from the 3.8 litre flat 6. This one here actually had its engine bored out to 4 litres and was built as a replica of his late father-in-law's CS. Next up then we move to our Ferrari. We saw this car's predecessor earlier today, our California. This is the Portofino M, 3.9 litre V8 twin turbo front. And effortlessly efficient at getting that power down. I have to say, still, for me, one of the prettiest cars Ferrari has made. I think that is ever so slightly more pretty than the successor to that car, the Roma. Next up then, this is exceptionally rare. There is only 2 of these in the world, only one of them in the UK, the Cobra 212 SC. Has a Lotus-derived 3.5 litre V8 with 2 turbos, developing 350 horsepower, 0 lovely to hear those turbos coming off boosts as it made its way up to the top of the hill. Lovely to see that. I've been looking forward to seeing that for weeks. When I found out that was coming, I was really looking forward to seeing that. I'm not disappointed. Next up then, it is our Spider. 375 horsepower in this. And the roof is something unusual with this. It's almost like that one. Getting some shade under for most of the day. Sort of clips out, almost like got like bars like a tent would have. Lovely to see one of those. They look absolutely glorious with the roof down. And that is the first batch returned. Can you please put your hands together for our drivers, and also welcome our next drivers. So, this is a V12 Vantage S. The Vantage, of course, started out with that V8. 5.9 litre V12 out to a DB9 in there. Next up it is the Ultima RS. This one with a 7 litre Chevy V8 with 700 horsepower, 2.8 seconds 60, top speed more than 200 miles an hour. There are very, very few cars faster than this in the world, and this is certainly one of the quickest we have here today. Have your cameras ready, because it's about to get fast. See, there's so much power there. I believe we were getting a little bit of smoke from the Now, we've seen a couple of Corvettes today, and I'm glad to see this one is joining us here. This is our C8, and this is the first rear mid-engine sports car since the Pontiac. .2-litre V8 in that 490 Next up then we have the BMW i8. Now this combines internal combustion with an electric motor. The engine in this was also used in the Mini of all things. But there is nothing slow about the i8, and it still looks sharp, even though these are now getting, in some cases, more than 10 years old. So that internal combustion engine and the electric motor working together there to put the traction down. Maybe with the Spider version in that as well, which is something even more radical. Next up then, we have our Jaguar F-Type SVR. When this came out, this was one of the fastest Jaguars that they had built since the XJ220, and there is one of those here with us as well. .5-litre supercharged V8. Sounds like the battle button and goes just 167 horsepower, 0-60 in 3.5 seconds. Sounds like machine gun fire, doesn't it, heading down there? Absolutely glorious. Lovely to hear that supercharged V8 snarling its way down the Beaulieu main straight here. So what we're going to do now is regroup them together. A few people have asked me, why do you stop them in the middle of the demonstration? A couple of reasons. First, they're so powerful and fast these days, modern cars, that by the time they reach that corner at the bottom of our main straight, they've been into triple figures. There is also a monument down there, and monuments and cars don't mix very well. The other reason is it gives them the opportunity to re-engage launch control, or, as we've seen earlier today, do a few more burnouts for you. Now, in our next batch of cars, I can see that we have got McLaren, Lotus, Lamborghini, Audi. All of this is coming up, but now let's get our V12 Aston Martin back up. How on earth Aston Martin managed to shoehorn in the V12 out of the DB9 into this baby Aston Martin is beyond me, but I am so glad that they did. Gorgeous in the Vantage, yes, joining us. Now, the ultimate. Have your cameras ready. Absolutely phenomenal. 7-litre Chevy V8, 700 horsepower, 0-60, 2.8 seconds. Smoke coming out there. Now I'll try and catch up with the driver later, but I'm interested to find out if that's smoke coming from the engine or whether the clutch is getting a bit hot in there. Next up then, we have got our Corvette, and this one is our mid-engine Corvette. It's the latest generation, the C8. Now we saw a 25th anniversary Corvette, just look how far. Incredibly potent machines now. GM were not messing around when they built the new C8. Still looks futuristic. If you look down towards the bottom of the straight, you've got the BMW i8, which combines that internal combustion engine with an electric motor. It was one of the first hybrid supercars that we saw, and it still looks futuristic today.
Screen rate, isn't it?
Really good to see that. It's amazing to still see that sort of floating bodywork across the back there. Finally then, we have our supercharged Jag. Here is the F-Type SVR. Very potent machine. This 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds. Been nudging 200 miles an hour before it runs out. Down through the gears. Absolutely superb, and a lovely bark as we head back into the holding area. So I'm looking down towards the bottom of our main straight. I do believe we are all clear. So ladies and gents, please put your hands together. Say thank you to our previous drivers and to welcome our next match. And we're starting with our McCallum, our 600 LT. 3.8 litre V8, turbo spooled up. Using the launch control there as the wheels are spinning a little bit on the remains of our Mustang's tyre. But still boosted those turbos up to deliver the maximum performance. Now, we keep to the British flag flying with our Lotus engine again in the middle of this. And it should be right at home here on our main straight, because of course Lotus is all about that lightness, all about that track orientation. So let's see what it can do. So that was superb, but hard on the brakes. We've overshot a little bit, but I think it was worth it. Now that's something of a mid-engine special here, because we're still keeping the engine in the middle. This time, it's a huge V10. So inches from the back of our driver and passenger. And there's nothing like a V10 hole. Wheel spinning then before it gripped to go. Fantastic. Now if you close your eyes, you'd be hard to tell the difference between these two. Of course, the R8 V10 does indeed share plenty of parts with the Lamborghini. They are indeed sister cars. Now the original R8 came with a V8 in it, then they squeezed in a V10. The second gen, which you're seeing here, is only as a V10. This was more of a road than track focus version, of course. A vehicle that you can indeed use every day if you so wish. 3.8 litre V8, right in the middle of the car. You can hear those turbos spool up as well. It's holding in neutral. Our driver there, get it into gear and away we go. I'm not complaining. Times 562 horsepower on a road car, more than enough. And now, I did ask the driver of this vehicle earlier, would it be himself or would it be his butler Jeeves driving it? He did confirm that his butler would be having the brake at this time. So we have the Bentley here. Of course, Continental originally came out with a 6 litre W12 engine. That 4 litre V8 with 545 horsepower, 3.8 seconds to 60, onto a top speed of 195. Now, I'm looking at our final batch. And I think they've collectively put all of the ASBOs together because, well, they're all revving and winding each other on. That's the next batch. They're coming up next. First, we need to get this this batch back up, and this has been something of a mid-engine feast. So we're starting with our McLaren. Now from the front of the car you can really hear the turbo stall. At the back you can hear that exhaust stall. A little squeak from the rubber there, high on the brakes as our 600 LT comes back in to join us. Flat drops then on the Lotus. I dare say on the track that this Lotus will put up more than a good fight against that McLaren. Because remember, it's not always about how much power you've got, it's also down to the amount of weight that you're having to move around. We were talking to Oscar earlier, our up-and-coming racing driver, and he's moved from karts over to a Ginetta, and he said one of the biggest changes for him is the weight and how that plays with the car. Our driver getting every last inch. That was beautiful to hear that V10 sing. In fact, I want to hear it again, and luckily we've got this car's sister coming up next, the Audi R8 V10. The brakes are so efficient on these. We put the braking point because obviously we have to adhere for the worst case scenario, but some of these cars' brakes are so... and they're stopping so early because they're just so efficient with their braking power. Next up then we have our McLaren at GT, this being more of a road orientated car. Still got that 3.5 litre V8 though, 3.8 litre V8. Hard on the brakes, and big smiles from both driver and passenger there, and quite right so. And now it's time for the Bentley to come and join us, darling. They are beautifully smooth, a bit like pouring double cream down a silk curtain being near a Bentley. The Continental has aged so well. When it first appeared it was very much a Marmite car, but they have turned into quite handsome brutes, and if you were going to do a cross-country blast, the Continental is a fantastic way to do it. So ladies and gents, please put your hands together for the previous match and welcome our next match of cars. Now we've had Mustangs. I'm pretty sure this is our first convertible Mustang that we've had. I mean, this is just the perfect blend, isn't it? Huge 5 litre V8 up front, rear wheel drive, 4 seats in the middle and the roof down. Superb. Next up we have our 720S McLaren joining us. Great to see so many McLarens here with us this weekend. And we've had so many different models joining us too. 720, as in 720 horsepower. 30 seconds to 60. We're going about 208 miles an hour. He's saying be kind. How can I be anything other than kind to the DB11? 4 litre V8 twin turbo in this one, AMG source V8 I should add. 513 horsepower and 4 seconds to 60. A sharp looking car, the DB11, and this one's got the active aero, so air actually travels through the boot lid and then straight up to create a virtual spoiler. Next up then we have our Ferrari 360. That V8 in the middle, and can hear the valves are open on the exhaust, so we're going to have the full sonorous effect of the Italian howling down our main straight. owner of this one has taken this to a stage 4 naturally aspirated build. Uses lots of GT350 parts. He claims that this is a Mach 1 killer. Brave words. That 5 litre V8 will take it to 525 horsepower. I bet his neighbours absolutely love it. Step back, because this one has been in our sound off, and we're going to have our sound off in a few moments' time at 4 o'clock this afternoon. This car has been in it and has indeed won on volume. Not sure if he's won on volume, and it does sound incredible. You probably can't hear me, ladies and gentlemen. I can't hear myself either. And after this has handed down, I don't think you'll hear much either. Probably the loudest car I've heard today. You can hear that car from 2 counties away. That's ridiculous. Very useful, that car, when you're leaving at work, isn't it? I'm on my way there. Yes, I heard. What must his neighbours think? His neighbours absolutely love it. Right, don't go anywhere because we've got to bring them all back up yet. So let's see what our owners and drivers are going to do on our way back up. Once they've come back up, ladies and gents, we're going to start heading over towards the main arena. It is almost time for our grand finale. This is our sound off. The Mustang convertible there, 5 litre V8, you can hear every single bit of it with the roof down. It's great seeing the cars come back up the hill because on their way down, from my perspective, I get that lovely exhaust sound, and then coming up I get the lovely sound of induction. You can hear the engine right at the very front. Looking down, I do believe our next one is our 720S McCallum, called 720 horsepower in this. This one has also got a V8, the same engine format as the Mustang that you just saw, but you can hear the difference. Revving so smoothly and cleanly, it howls rather than roars. Next up then is our Aston Martin, this with that AMG derived V8 up front. This car was also available with a twin-turbo V12 as well. It's sounding glorious with that little whistle, just an ever so slight whistle, little after hit of the turbo there. Looking down towards our main straight then, I can see that the 360 is lined up and the exhaust on this is exquisite. Manual as well, just listen to that beautiful howl. That is fantastic. What a way to make a petrol sound brilliant. Pretty much all of these have been V8s, and we're continuing with that theme now with our next Mustang. This one has been taken to a stage 4 naturally aspirated build. Our owner, when I was talking to him earlier today, said that this is a Mach 1. Those are fighting words, if there ever was any. Sounding absolutely glorious. Now, speaking of sounding glorious, have a listen, well, you've got no other option really, to this.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our Sound Off, sponsored by Nanolex. It is the moment you've all been waiting for. It is our grand finale. So, ladies and gentlemen, can I please ask all of you to put your hands together for our Sound Off entries? Ladies and gentlemen, would you like to get into your cars and start them up? We'll start warming them up. I mean, we'll all know when the TVR's started because we'll feel our fillings rattling, won't we? But here we go. We're going to find out what's in each of our cars to begin with, and then we're going to start proceedings and finding out how loud they all are. Now then, hello sir, I feel like I should bow and doff my cap. Tell us what we've got. And this one's got a lovely V12. Fantastic. Well, give us a little blip, let's have a little listen. Lovely shot. That's our first entry. Now, we're moving from 12 cylinders down to 10. But they're 10 very, very good cylinders. Tell us what we got.
5.2 V10.
How much horsepower?
620.
Fantastic. Let's have a little blip. I might disqualify him, he's just burnt my ankles. Anyway, next up then, a Maserati.
Yes. V8, yeah.
Nice long pipes underneath it.
Yeah, lovely. Straight through as well, so.
They're straight through?
Yeah.
Oh, let's hear it then. Lovely stuff. Lovely stuff. Another Grand Coupe. Next up, we can't have a Sound Off without a Mustang, okay? And no pressure, but Mustangs have won this in previous years. So, you know, you're in a good place, but you are holding quite a big mantle. Tell us what we got.
Yes, we're a Ford Mustang Dark Horse, only about a year or so old, so a bit of a baby, but one of the last production cars on the road, just a manual V8 that's naturally aspirated. So what more of a petrol head can love this, eh?
Exactly. Have we done anything with this one?
Not yet, no. So it's stock at the moment, so let's see how it stands up to the rest.
Go on then, let's have a quick listen. Lovely. So this is how Ford intended it to sound. After this, your wallet is going to get a lot lighter because you'll start wanting it to sound a lot better. Next up then, now this has been, is this one that's been bored out to 4 litres?
It has, yeah. It started like since 3.8.
And this one you built, and I love the story of this one, it's been built in memory of your late father-in-law, is that right?
Yeah, so we had the original one, Ferrari CS, limited run,
Yeah.
late 80s, right? And passed away a few years ago, and we know what, to build a car in
Yeah.
his design. This is that car.
Well, let's have a listen what a bored out flat six sounds like. Oh, yes. a titanium exhaust that's wonderful now. I'll admit it was a titanium exhaust on a Lamborghini that cost £50,000, but still, titanium exhausts have won before now. Let's have a listen. That sounds magical. Better going through the hills on a lovely hill climb. So, those are our entries. To start with, what we're going to do is find out how loud they are, and for that, I need my colleague Nate. Ladies and gentlemen, can please ask you all to put your hands together and welcome Nate! Put your hands together. Hello again, sir. I don't think you can hear me. No, exactly. Right, we've done this many a time, and I like to see that you've shaved your beard this time. So you're going to stand at equal distance from the back of each car. They're all going to rev up, and we're going to find out just how loud each of them is. So, you choose your distance, how far you want to stand behind. Remember, it's all down to this, okay? It's a one-shot deal. All of the drivers, please be nice and quiet for me at this point. All of the drivers, nice and quiet. So, Nate is ready. The audience is ready. Are you ready? Take it away. Happy with that? I've got the nod, he's happy with it. So then, let's find out how loud. Okay. So we're starting off, you sir, 111.5. 111.5, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the Aston Martin. Now, get it squeaky. It's so loud, let's turn the volume right up. No. Right, Nate's ready. Are you ready? Take it away. Now, you had 2 less cylinders than the Aston Martin, so how did you do? You had 111.5 to beat. You, sir, got 113. 113, and you next then, it is our Maserati. We're going down slowly. We've gone 12 cylinder, 10 cylinder, now we're down to 8 cylinders, but the volume's gone up. Please continue the trend. Take it away. It's happy. That's it. Okay, let's find out how loud we are. Okay, it's 113 to beat. You, sir, were 109. Not quite. So 113 is still our lead. Now this is stock standard. Now what you have to remember is that manufacturers have to keep the volumes to certain levels. You know, they can take it on track and do things with it. It's not really what we want right now, but still, let's see how loud it can do. Take it away. Alright, it's happy. It's happy. Remember, this can be your benchmark, okay? You, sir, reached 109.4. You were 0.4 ahead of the Maserati, but still didn't beat the 113. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the dark horse. Next up then, we bored it out, built it up. It's all come down to this. Come on, mate, you can do it. Take it away. Oh, that sounded lovely. Absolutely lovely. So, the highest we've had so far was a V10 engine. 4. You're in the lead. You're in the lead so far. Oh, I get the feeling that's 4. Hello. I'm fine. Yes, I'm absolutely fine. Can I ask? I'm very good. Right, come on. V8, let's go here. Okay. So 116 is what we're looking to beat. Okay. 116 is looking to beat you, sir. 114. You were close, but not quite there. There we go. Here we go. Yes, this is going to be the winning car. You're going to be loaded. Come on, let's do it. Thank you very much. So, let's find out what our final car did. Okay. So, 116 to beat you, sir, were 109.4. But still, it's up there. You did all right. It sounded good, but in terms of our winner, for the loudest car, with 116 decibels, it is the ultimate. You, sir. Yes, you've got the loudest. Well done, you, Mike. Thank you, your very loud car. Come on. No, don't just tap them down. What, did I win? Yes, I'm just... Cheers, Johnny. I know, that's it, look. 116 decibels were louder than the DJ.
Oh, wow. What can I say? The next car won.
Hey, that's fighting talk.
The next car won. The crowd will tell you in a minute, mate. So don't worry. The crowd, won't you? You're going to clap for me, buddy. Come on.
Very expensive day for you.
I know.
What I find hilarious as well is that you've got some speakers in there. What a pointless modification. Speakers. You've got speakers there. What is
That's a water bottle.
that? Is not a water. Oh, no. Get back in your car. Right, so ladies and gentlemen, your loudest car here was indeed the ultimate. We think it sounds great. But time to find out which car you think it sounds. So we're going to go down one by one, we're going to have a final listen to them, and then all of them are going to turn their engines off. It's very much over to you. So, Aston Martin, can I please have a rev, sir? Next up, our Audi, a rev please. Then our Ferrari. Our Dark Horse. Our bored-out Porsche. The Asbo, the Ultima. The good old Trevor. The V8. And finally, our Porsche. Alrighty. So, everyone, engines on. Quiet now. Everyone, engines off. All engines off. I know, right? Sounds good, doesn't it? So, Nate, where are you, sir? Come over here. Come on.
I can hear myself again.
You can hear yourself again? Good. I can't. I'm completely gone. Right, so Nate is going to stand in the centre of the arena. I'm going to go down one by one, and if you think that the car sounds best that I'm pointing at, I want you to cheer as loud as you possibly can. I'm going to take my earplugs out for this so I can also gauge just how loud you are shouting. And we're going to start with our British Aston Martin. If you thought the Aston Martin sounding best, cheer for me now. Okay, there's some fans there. If you think the Audi sounded best, cheer for me now. All right, okay. The Maserati, who fancied that? Cheer for me now. Okay. The Dark Horse, who thought the Dark Horse sounded best? Right, you're in the running. Come and stand behind your car, sir. Come stand behind your car. You are definitely in the running. Now, this Carrera has been bored out to 4 litres, but did it win your hearts? Cheer for me now. Okay. The Ultima. It won on volume, but it didn't win your hearts. Cheer for me now. Okay, you're in the running. Next up then is the Trevo. If you thought the TVR sounded best, cheer for me now. You're in the running. Come on, come stand by your car. You're in the running, come stand by your car. The Mustang, if you thought the Mustang sounded best, cheer for me now. Okay. And finally the Porsche. If you thought the Porsche sounded best, cheer for me now. Okay, it's down to the final three. Come on over, gents. Come and join me in the centre of our playground.
Best man wins.
He is so confident, isn't he? Right, so it's all down to this. This is the final chance. Best of luck to each and every one of you. If you think the dark horse sounded best, cheer for me now. Okay.
Mediocre now.
If you think the Ultima sounded best, cheer for me now. Okay. I'm sorry to say the dark horse is out. And finally, if you think that the TVR sounded best, cheer for me now. It was close. But before I do reveal what we all know is about to come, I want to find out this. What was louder, the car or the cheer?
It was close, but it was the car.
It was close. But I can tell you that you, sir, were not only louder than all of these cars here, you were also louder than all of the people here as well. Ladies and gentlemen, your Sound Off winner, the Ultima GTR. Well done to you.
Thank you, Tim. Thank you.
You must be very, very, very pleased.
I'm very pleased for an 8-year-old.
That's excellent. Now, before we come on to giving you your prizes, thanks, Alex, I'm going to quickly speak to you, sir. How do you feel to be one of our runners-up?
Oh, it's great to be here. Lovely weather and all that sort of stuff, and it's great just to line up with everyone else. So.
Exactly. You're in a stock car.
Oh, it's stock. It's a baby. It's stock, and it's the last manual V8 on the road.
Exactly.
Yeah, so we're good.
So next year it'll sound like that.
We'll bit better. Yeah, I'll come back next year stronger.
Very good, ladies and gents. Please put your hands together for the dark horse. Fighting words. And finally, Sal, come on to you. You were so loud. I thought you'd be the loudest.
Always the bridesmaid, never the bride.
Oh, mate. But you sounded great, and you sounded even better on the demo straight there. You'll be able to watch all of that on YouTube in about an hour and a half's time. What do you think of the winner, though?
Standing blazing, excellent car.
They are formidable. You can get them 1,200 horsepower. I wouldn't let you anywhere near it. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for your next runner-up. It is, of course, the TVR. Well done. And so, ladies and gents, I have the pleasure of telling you that your winner here at the Beaulieu Supercar Sound Off is the Ultima GTR! Yes! Well done.
I'm happy.
I would be too. So not only have you won a trophy, come on Nano, let's bring over the trophy, and also some wonderful cleaning goodies. Thanks, Nano. I know you get looking even prettier. You have now won the opportunity to give me your car keys for the weekend.
Yeah, no problem. Go and get them.
You are going to regret saying that. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, a big thank you to each and every one of you for joining us here at the Beaulieu Supercar Weekend today. We're doing it all again tomorrow, and if you're not here tomorrow, you'll be able to watch it all on YouTube. You'll also be able to watch all of the highlights from today's show on YouTube tonight. All I have to say is congratulations to you. Please do get your trophy and your prize. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, put your hands together for your winner, the Ultima GTR. Now, we've got one final thing to do. You've heard them all individually, and I think you'll agree they sounded wonderful. But this is not about individual instruments. This is an orchestra, and they play together, which is what we are going to do. So, this is my favourite part of the weekend. Gents, ladies, go and get in your cars. And yes, I'm going to stand here in front of the loudest one. My favourite thing to do now, start your engines, because we're going to hear all of you together. Is everyone ready? All happy? We've got thumbs up pretty much all the way down. So, ladies, gentlemen, take it away. thanks very much for watching this video, guys. I do hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, underneath here you'll find a thumbs up, you'll also find a hype button and a subscribe button. Hit subscribe, it's worth it, because coming up tomorrow, all the highlights from day 2 here at the Beaulieu Supercar Weekend. Hopefully I'll see some of you here tomorrow, but if not, all the highlights will be online same day as always. All set says, thanks very much for watching. I'll see you again soon.